forever to figure out the replay. Little League Baseball figured out the replay before Major League Baseball. The NFL will move off stuff. And the catch, they'll just move off stuff. They'll change stuff all the time. And I do think the mental health thing's important here. They're going to reduce the number of preseason games. They're increasingly not asking you guys to go to all the camps. Off season, you guys have more power. But I do think Aaron talked about something that's important. He has been a rock star for 13 years. He's like a rock band. He's been touring for 13 years. He's the guy we talk about if they lose. When you were around Favre and Aaron Rodgers, were there moments that you looked at them and thought, no, thank you. I like being a wide receiver. I don't have to be the star quarterback every. Did you sense the pressure they often went through?
Of course, 100%. And it wasn't just on the football field and position-based. It was just overall in life. I remember vividly watching Brett and having security go to the grocery store, get his own gas, because he couldn't do those things in the normal day-to-day that we all go out and do uninterrupted or briefly interrupted. Colin, you experienced this, but his level of attraction, celebrity, it just drew so much attention that it was draining. And so I remember telling my wife, like, I would never want that. And I don't wish it on anyone, but it's a part of what comes with being a icon, being a franchise player of the Green Bay Packers, one of the storied franchises in all of sport. And so it's far beyond just the play of these athletes and these celebrities, these singers, these entertainers. It's the day-to-day that we don't really see that takes a toll.
It does feel like Aaron coming out and voicing this, it does set the table up for, hey, I'm telling you why I was gone. I'm going to be coming back, but I'm giving you kind of a reason I was gone. I felt a little closure with it. It was like, okay, Aaron's now saying, hey, man, I needed to step back and reevaluate everything. And he's pretty close to just coming into camp and playing football. That's what it felt like to me, a little bit of closure, an answer for all the speculation. Is that fair?
That is fair. And I think in addition, it was just a culmination of emotions. When you think about mental health, and so many people think that you have to be struggling with a disorder or something like that, but it's emotional, it's physiological, it's your social well-being. So any interaction you have to deal and put up with on a day-to-day basis that creates tension and friction and an emotional drain, it wears on you. And you got to think about what he's experienced over the last couple of years and what he's experienced over this past year and even going into this offseason. It's a lot on his shoulders as far as wins and losses for the Green Bay Packers, but it's a lot on him just physically taking on the responsibility of what is expected of him outside of his own self and what his standards of expectations are. And so for him to be able to be aware of his mental space, it speaks volumes. And I think more of us should do that and need to do that in order to provide the best us to those around us.
You know, it's really funny you say that. And I'm just going to ramble here for a minute. But when I don't live very far from work. And sometimes when I drive home, I see the traffic or on the weekends. And I think these poor people are in traffic for 3 hours a day. And it's why I like the Zoom culture working at home and why I have advocated for a 4-day work week. I started a little company, a podcast company, and I'd like to make it a 4-day schedule for people in that we ask so much. We have pressure on us to be parents and pressure on us at work. And the Zoom culture has allowed you athletes to sometimes just do it from home. And I'm like, oh, this is really great. Like, I think there's 2 or 3 technologies in my life that I really love. FaceTime, I think, is amazing. I could talk to my daughter any day of the week if she's not with me. But I think sometimes, I don't think you ever resented it, Greg. But were there times as a pro athlete you were like, man, I've done about every play I can? Because football's a repetition sport. Were there times that you in the middle of a season were like, I need a week off?
Of course. It happens more than the average fan probably thinks. And I think it's just because of the wear and tear, not just physically, but mentally. It is mentally draining to sit in a meeting, to be redundant each and every day, but to take away something so that you can get better each week because your opponent changes from week to week. Who you're facing, who you're lining up against, they've changed from week to week. So you have to stay mentally locked in, but there is a actual mental pull on you as well, and an emotional pull and a physical draining that takes place. And in order for these players to continue to play at the highest level and at the most optimum level that they can provide each and every one of their organizations and their teammates, they have to take a minute and step back and exhale from time to time.
By the way, missing an off season, will it affect Aaron and his wide receivers, tight ends, backs, anything like that?
No. You got to remember, I was a part of the team that ended up going 15-1 after we had won the Super Bowl, and everyone talked about all offseason the lack of us getting together and the Aaron Rodgers not connecting with his receivers in the offseason. We came out, we were on fire, we didn't repeat, but we were a really good team. And I think for Aaron and for this team, they have so much chemistry already.
Yeah.
They're not going to lose that chemistry. They're only going to add to it and what he brings when he's back.
Yeah. Finally, he plays the match today against Mickelson and Brady and Bryson DeChambeau, and he are on the same team. You have golfed with Aaron. Is he a good golfer?
Oh, yeah, he's definitely a good golfer, especially around the green. I remember his putting is pretty good. I'm not going to say it's lights out because we see professionals putt all the time. But from watching Tom Brady and watching Aaron is definitely a better golfer than Tom.
All right. Greg Jennings supporting his former teammate. Great seeing you, bud. Like the shirt as always. You come very well appointed to our show. Much respect to you, Greg. Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. You know, I was talking about a 4-day work week and this Zoom culture. And you know this. You've been a witness here. I've been banging on the preseason in the NFL forever. It's just stupid.